Okay friends, here's a story from the Telegraph. Headline reads, China on course to become world's most Christian nation within 15 years. The number of Christians in communist China is growing so steadily that by 2030 it could have more churchgoers than America. It is said to be China's biggest church, and on Easter Sunday thousands of worshippers will flock to this Asian megatemple to pledge their allegiance not to the Communist Party but to the cross. The 5,000 capacity church, which boasts more than twice as many seats as Westminster Abbey and a 206-foot crucifix that can be seen for miles around, opened last year, with one theologian declaring it a miracle that such a small town was able to build such a grand church. The £8 million building is also one of the most visible symbols of Communist China's breakneck conversion as it evolves into one of the largest Christian congregations on earth. It's a wonderful thing to be a follower of Jesus Christ. It gives us great confidence, beamed Jin Hongzin, a 40-year-old visitor who was admiring the golden cross above the church's altar in the lead up to Holy Week. If everyone in China believed in Jesus, then we would have no more need for police stations. There would be no more bad people and therefore no more crime, she added. Now, isn't it amazing, friends? Officially, China is, of course, atheist, but many of the 1.3 billion who live there are seeking Christ. And because of this, China is now poised to become not only the world's #1 economy, but also the nation with the most Christians. Friends, that can't be a coincidence, can it? There's got to be a link between people turning to God and a growing economy in China. Now, Professor Yang, who is a leading expert on China's religions, says the number is set to swell to 160 million by 2025, which could well put China ahead of the US. He commented that its leaders attempted to eliminate Christianity, but they actually completely failed. And of course Jesus said, didn't he, in Matthew 16:18, I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Once again, friends, Jesus' words and the words of the Bible are proving accurate. Now, I read this with great interest, friends, because back in 1991, when the Lord downloaded that incredible vision to me, the Lord showed me something very powerful about the Chinese church. Here's what I wrote down. It was during this time the Lord showed me that the underground Chinese church was a critical part of his end-time strategy for world evangelization. He revealed that at the appointed time, during a great global upheaval and persecution, the Chinese underground church would be released, or more accurately, propelled into the world as a direct result of political pressures. Chinese Christians would preach the gospel with unprecedented power and success in obedience to a heavenly assignment. Millions of souls would be drawn into the saving arms of Christ. The Lord showed me that this was the reason why the Chinese church had undergone such terrible persecution. This time of trial had turned these Chinese Christians into a seasoned and well-trained army of spirit-filled, Christ-centered saints. These believers would be totally unwavering whenever they encounter opposition. Their persecution and troubles had become like a kind of incubator in which an abundance of fruit had been birthed. I also understood that their steadfast faithfulness under trial would be a powerful testimony to the onlooking Western Church, especially since the Western Church will need great encouragement not to be fearful and shrink back at the first sign of more obvious governmental persecution. And later I felt strongly that Brother Yun, author of the book The Heavenly Man, had been raised up for this purpose. He formed the first fruits, along with many others, of a much wider move of God that will be precipitated by global political unrest and an unparalleled persecution of the saints.